I think you're disrespecting me by asking intelligent questions. I'm not used to that. Hey,
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time in the channel, hit subscribe right now. Well, Rob, I mean, what a day. Not only are you extremely busy promoting the crap out of the new album coming our way, but as we are talking, obviously it's not the day that this is airing, but as we are recording this, is also the day that you guys make the official statement that 2024 is going to be the last year for Cirith Ungol to be on a stage together. So retirement is coming, or is it only retirement from playing live that is coming?
well, you know, I'd probably get in trouble for answering that, but here's what I want to say is, like, most of our music lately has been very dark and doomy. And so if you listen to our music, we'll be lucky to even make it through the middle of 2024 before the asteroid takes us all off the planet. So so what I tell everyone, you know, before, you know, 3 years ago, I said every show could be our last show, every album could be our last album. I think what we decided, you know, we're getting older, and when we got back together, we thought, hey, we're going to play a couple of shows. Because,
right,
just to preface this, when we broke up in 1991, I have to get out a calculator to see how old I actually was, but I remember being kind of grumpy and kind of bitter and going, the reason we broke up or quit the band was because, you know, this is heavy metal's a young man's sport, you know, and, you know, I'm 30, you know, or 35 or something. And, you know, why am I going to continue on doing this?
right.
And if you're in Canada, you must watch a little bit of Grand Prix, like in Montreal. You know, if you're a Grand Prix driver when you're 25, they consider you like actually over the hill, or like, you know, maybe it's time for retirement, right? And so, and then we came back 25 years later, and we've been together in the next year, 9 years, subtract the pandemic, so 6 years. But in that time, we put out a live album, 2 studio albums,
EP.
an EPP, yeah, Half Past Human.
Amazing re-releases as well.
Yeah, and there's not one like dud in the whole batch, right? You know, so I think the feeling was, let's go out, you know, with a bang. You know, let's not go out. You know, I'm currently having a walker made for me with a Cirith Ungol sticker on it, but I'm not using it yet. You know, so, but I don't know. I mean, I think in a perfect world, we'd be live forever. You know, we'd put out 10 more albums, and, you know, we'd play, you know, Albert Hall in London and stuff, you know, but we're all humans, and there's a limitation on us. Plus, you know, Jarvis is a night demon, you know, and he's been playing with our band for the last several years, you know, and it's time for them, you know, he needs some time to flex his muscles and do that, you know. You know, I might start a podcast or a new career as a stand-up comedian or a hip-hop artist. I can't guarantee that one, you know, but you know, and I still love playing drums, you know, so I can't say what's going to happen, but next year is going to be our last year playing live with the group. And I think it's going to be good, but it gives us another whole year to explore parts of the earth that we've never been to, you know. And
the roller coaster that was the last 6-7 years. I mean, if we look at the whole career, and Jarvis and I talked many times about this, it's, you know, it all of a sudden in a few years was crammed together that you didn't get to experience for 20 years, right? Because people forget that you guys were active as a band for like 10 years before the first record came out. Did you, I mean, I know that obviously you guys planned your concerts as more like, hey, we're a weekend away. You guys didn't go in the last 2 years on the road for 3-4 months straight and stuff like that. But it was extremely busy, like you said. There was always something new coming out around the band, for the band. did you have time to take that step back and appreciate all of a sudden what did happen? Like, did you have time for that? Did that sink in, or is that something that is only gonna truly happen when you guys played that last show and you are all of a sudden in a different part of your life?
I don't know. I think you're disrespecting me by asking intelligent questions. I'm not used to that. Hey, I'm just pulling your leg. You know what? It's probably going to sink in after it happens, you know. And I'm going to get in trouble for saying this too, but because I don't, no one wants to die, and we're basically we're not dying, but I mean we've announced of the last shows we're going to play, but I've been thinking also too, you know, Beatles stopped playing live in 1964, and all their best albums came after that. So
right,
I'm just throwing that out there. I can't. There's no.
We can't confirm or deny that this is part of the official strategy of the band. Yeah, no,
and since we're already sort of not playing, I can't be thrown out. You know, like Bill Ward or something. You know, one of my favorite drummers. You know, that's just.
Yeah. Now, do I remember correctly that a good chunk of the material that is on this new album coming out, that was already almost completely done with the previous release, and that initially you guys were thinking of putting out a double album at the time?
No, that's totally not true. Matter of fact, you know, it's kind of funny. It's like we're misunderstood, but it's like, you know, we're also very open. You know, sometimes I cage some of our stuff in kind of like a, you know, like a surrealistic, you know, when I do interviews, you know, they'll say, how do you write your songs? We forge them in like an underground, like forge like a blacksmith, you know, in the Middle Ages would forge a battle sword. You know, it's like, you know, taking the molten metal, hammering it to make it true, and then quenching it in the blood of the unavenged, you know, stuff like that. But every time we finished an album, we started writing on new material.
Right.
And as soon as we got back together, we started writing material, you know. And people said, oh, you guys will never do nothing. You'll never put nothing out. You'll never be relevant because you're just an old band, right? But we put out the Witch's Game song because we had came across some guys making a movie, Planet of Doom, which is still in the works. The pandemic took a big chunk out of a lot of people, including us. And that's why that thing hasn't come out yet, but it's still in the works. People said, oh, wow, I can't believe they can still write material. And you said, well, by that time we'd have written half an album. We said, well, like, you know, let's put out an album. So that was Forever Black. Forever Black landed almost the same day as the pandemic. And there is a conspiracy that we caused the pandemic with our doomy music. But also we were going, I remember, like, you know, I think I was talking to Jarvis, like, can they cancel the album release? You know, it's like the world just shut down, you know. But I think the irony is, it kind of took 3 years out of our life, which you can't get back. But also, too, some people got to stay at home more, so maybe they got to listen to more music. So maybe that was a good thing. Anyway, the album was pretty well received. You know, a website in Italy, the readers voted it #1, beating some of the biggest bands that you can mention that I grew up worshiping, you know, so that blew us away. What was kind of ironic, though, is, like, you know, we were starting to write as soon as that one was over, you know, in the can. We started writing the next one. But what we didn't do is we thought, well, hey, why put out another studio album just to kind of like end up on the trash heap of history, like in this worldwide shutdown, right? So people have been telling us, why don't you put out some old material re-recorded? We're like, no, we're not going to do that. We're old. We want to put out, you know, we're going to bring out some new material. And then we started thinking, you know, hey, maybe this is the perfect time. So we pulled 4 songs out of our repertoire. They all kind of had a beast theme. Shelob's Lair, kind of like, you know, the Shelob monster in Lord of the Rings. Brutish Man-Child, it's like subhuman guys that kind of take over the world. You know, half-past human, man's de-evolution back into an ape. Route 666 is kind of like Crossroads, the guys on a lonely road meet some kind of devil beast type thing. And so we kind of breathed some new life into them, and that was kind of like a bookmark or place mark that we wanted to just, you know, we didn't want to not do anything during that time, but we also didn't want to waste it on another album.
Right.
Okay, as soon as that was out, we started seriously getting, you know, our act together with Dark Parade. We recorded that, started recording it last year, I think sometime in October. And, you know, I think we finished, the deadline was in February 20th, something like that. And
here we are.
Here we are. Now, I think it's our darkest, heaviest album we've ever done. Every album you can see behind me, we've tried to get, with each album, we've tried to get heavier and heavier. I'm not sure we've succeeded, but that's our goal. We also tried to, like, you know, record better. And I always use the analogy, if you're a cook, let's say you try something. I've been using a cake, because that's, you know, maybe you don't bake cakes and I don't either, but if you bake a cake the first time, it doesn't work out. Maybe next time you cook it longer, you know, or you add you add more baking soda to it, or whatever that makes it better. And so with each album, we've tried, you know, new recording techniques, new recording styles, you know, different instruments, different amplification, whatever, to try to make it heavier. Have we succeeded? No, but perfection is almost unattainable. So we're all striving for perfection, but we all fall short in the end.
Yeah, well, with this new album, it's definitely what I would say a no-nonsense album, right? Like, there's no, oh, here is the doomy, gloomy intro that will get you going. No, like, when you hit play, I had a chance to listen to the full album, obviously, already. And, you know, velocity just kicks in and takes no prisoners, if you will. And there's a good amount of songs on this album that really rock. Like, Relentless is amazing. The title track stands out for me as well. So then I'm thinking about, you guys are going to record your release show, your album release show, and that will be another live album. So how much can we cross our fingers to see this new material on that recording? Because with a band with your legacy, there is a certain respect for the legacy you have to have, and people come to your show. You're always going to have some people come to your show for the first time, and they are coming to your show with a list of, you know, classics that they would love to hear. But then you've got people like me that have heard you play those classics many times and really do like the new material, and we want to hear that as well. You know, with the 10, you know, releases you have behind you, that's not an easy feat anymore to create a set list that doesn't take 6 hours to play. So what can we expect?
Well, you can expect the one thing we've never done in our life. We're going to have an album release party where we play the entire album and from beginning to end, which we've never done ever. Never had an album release party, never played a whole album from beginning to end. And then we're going to do another hour of our greatest hits. And you're right, the biggest arguments we've had in the band since we got back together is, you know, are we going to cut out King of the Dead? Are we going to cut out Doom Planet? Or, you know, or like... you know, Finger of Scorn, or that's too long. Witch's Game, another long song, you know. So, but there's songs off every album, and I think people will be excited. And we're playing this stuff. It's not going to be a letdown. Now, you know, a lot of times we play live and we'll make a mistake on stage or something. We always watch it on video and we beat ourselves up. But you know, it's coming to our attention. I won't mention any names, but there's a lot of big bands that actually. Turns out that they're not even playing anymore. You know, they're just playing like a backing, and these are bands that have limited amounts of money. The joke is, if we had more money, we'd be doing that too. We'd just be playing the. There you go.
There you go. You wouldn't retire.
Milli Vanilli. We'd be doing that. Yeah. No, I think I really don't know what the record company's going to do, but I'm assuming that they'll have the whole new album and the other stuff.
On 2 discs
as a live album, you know. I mean, that's we're going out there to take no prisoners, and we're going to bang some stuff. We're going to pound. I'm going to pound the skins, and the goal is to kind of like you know, get ready for this next year, our final year playing live. And I think, well, what I've been telling people, you may be dissatisfied, but you will not be disappointed.
Now, Rob, you say that that thinking about this set list are some of the toughest conversations that you guys have done in the band. However, I have it on good authority that there have been some tough conversations about wardrobe as well throughout this comeback cycle, where certain flashy colors and prints were preferred not to be worn on stage. And based on your reaction, I have a feeling that there's some truth to that.
Well, I don't know. You know, the band always, I don't know, we kind of in our past, you know, we've kind of worn what we wanted to, and we came back together. We're kind of doing the standard, you know, like we're all wearing black stuff. Play to keep it true. I have this like African print thing I wore, and actually, you know, a lot of people said, "Oh, you shouldn't do that," but it actually kind of came out pretty cool. And you know, if you're, I'm the drummer, I'm sitting behind a drum set, I'm dressed in black, you can't really see me, and you know, Bill Ward wore a couple of things similar, kind of like a caftan. That's what they call it. It's kind of like just if you look on the pictures of Volume 4, he's wearing a similar thing, you know. So I I pulled that out. I can't. I don't even know. I haven't picked out my wardrobe for the night for that yet. But yeah, I don't know. But you know what? The thing to focus on is the music. You know, and I know we're talking about all this stuff is swirling around. It's a pandemic. You know, retirement, whatever. After I'm dead, you know, I'm going to be proud of a lot of this stuff. Is there a couple of songs that maybe shouldn't have been on one album or two? Like maybe this one might be a couple of songs on this album right here we shouldn't have put on there. There weren't bands. But, you know, everything we did since we got back together, boy, you know, I mean, if you ask me, Dark Parade's album of 2023, I don't care who you put it up against. Now, do other people believe that? I don't care. I'm just saying we wrote this music for ourselves. We're hoping that other people like it. But if they do, that's icing on the cake for us, because we're really, you know, no one's getting rich off this. No one, you know, 90% of all the bands are barely even breaking even. Even the big bands that people think that are doing really well, they're still struggling out there, you know, between all the travel expenses and everything. So the reason we're doing this is because our love for the music, and especially me, my love for what we consider true metal. I mean, that's what we call it. And that's all that really matters. It doesn't matter how many shows you play a year, or who writes a good review, or like how long you last. It's like what the music is and what it, you know, what the music stands for on its own. And I think that people always ask Tim, you know, can you explain the lyrics to me? And he goes, go read them. You know, he don't even like talking about it. He goes, I wrote the lyrics so that you can go read them. Now everyone can interpret them differently, but and I guess what I'm saying is our music is all that matters to us, you know, and so everything swirling around the outside of that is just a distraction from the music. But enjoy it while it lasts, and come see us play before it's over.
Rob, we're running out of time fast here, so let me wrap us up with one different, unique question here. We saw the Ultimate Fan Box re-release of, I think it was Frost and Fire not too long ago, where in the Ultimate Edition, there was a piece of wood of the recording studio that was part of the package as like something that, you know, no other fan could get. So when the new album will be reissued in 10 years from now, what is the one thing that you guys put aside to be that ultimate thing that the greatest Cirith Ungol fans will try to get a hold of in 10 years from now?
I don't know. That's crazy. Along with that, there was a piece of the carpet from our original band room where we recorded, you know, like I don't know. What I was going to say is probably not fit for probably family audiences.
It's okay. This is not a made for kids YouTube channel anyway.
Well, if I was joking around, I'd say we give like sperm donations so people could like raise baby Cirith Ungol people, you know. But that's probably not. You know what? I have no idea. I just hope that people remember our band as a band that never really made it big, but never stopped trying. You know, and that's it. You know? There you go.
And
this is. I know you looked at it. This is Chtuhlu. He's kind of like my, you know, he's an H.P. Lovecraft guy, and he just kind of, I bring him along to all my things. He just kind of sits here and watches. So
nice. Well, Chtuhlu will be with you when you go play those last shows. And you might say that you never made it really big, but you're going to wrap up your playing life career in the biggest way possible with some epic shows. We'll see you at those shows, Rob. Thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for all the amazing shows that we've seen you at. I can't wait to see you on the stage in the coming year, and I wish you all the best with the release of this amazing album.
Thank you on behalf of me and all of Cirith Ungol.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.